So, yesterday I turned 20. For the longest time, I didn't really want to make this video because I honestly don't even know, because I haven't felt like I've done anything worthwhile all 19 years. So subconsciously, deep down, I thought that being grateful to turn 20 was unearned, and being happy to turn 20 was unearned. And I think that's why, like, even when I stayed up till 12, till midnight, just hoping I would finally feel that sense of, okay, I'm here, I'm excited, I'm overwhelmed, I'm joyful, I did it. And that's because I think I spent a large majority of my life comparing and beating down on myself. I have a lot of insecurities, and by the grace of God, those have been able to be brought to my attention. However, in those being brought to my attention and me learning myself a little bit more, I've kind of realized that those insecurities have driven a lot of my decisions and a lot of my perceptions on how my life is and whether I have a good or bad life. I wanted to give a message to all my young people who are following the way of Christ, or all my young people who are figuring out the world just as I am. Whether you're older than 20, whether you're younger than 20, whether you're in the threshold of, like, I feel like I ain't that young no more, even like I'm 30. I would say, somebody who's 70, 80, who's done with more than half of their life, they look at somebody who's 30, they look at somebody who's 20 and still figuring out the world, and they're like, man, you're young, you have so much to figure out, you have so much to do, you have so much opportunity. I don't think I want the people to hear this to be caught up on the opportunity that you have or anything like that. I think it's good to acknowledge that. I think it's wonderful to, be aware of how blessed you are. But I also think that when you're so aware of how much opportunity you have, the weight of option gets crushed on you to the point where you're like, there's so much I want to do, there's so much I'm scared to do, there's so much I could do even though I'm scared, and there's so much I'm going to be disappointed in that I didn't do when the day is over. And I'm sorry, there's a mosquito on me. And there's so much to be disappointed in when the day is over, especially when you live an opportunity focused based life. It's a reason why people, I think, who are 70 and 80 years old always talk about the things they wish they would have done when they was younger over and over and over again. And I think that when you focus on that, I think you're always going to have a certain sense of, I think there's so many people who are always saying they wish they would have used the opportunities that they had while they're younger. And I think social media likes to market that to younger audiences and put more pressure on them and put more interaction and make them stay focused on how to live the right way so that they can keep on interacting, so they can keep on clicking, so they can keep on sharing and keep on following and keep on worrying and keep on looking for answers that you're really not going to find in no phone, and you're really not going to find on social media. So I don't want this video to be any answers. If anything, I want this video to be something that you can play to just relax to ease your mind, to let you know that wherever you are, in whatever position that you are, faith and God, they're more important than anything else. They're more important than anything you do. They're more important than anything you could possibly accomplish, because your story is set with the foundation of Him and not how far you peak. And that's not me saying that, being accomplished and working hard and being obedient and doing that is anything that is bad. No, I'm saying in comparison, though, It really don't matter, because no matter what you do, man, somebody has done before you. And you know, that's not to diminish anything you're doing, especially if you're the first person in your family, or you're the first person you've seen doing the things that you're doing. You're breaking chains, and the only reason you're doing something that's never been done before is because in your world you haven't seen the results of what you're doing. But your world ain't the only world, and I want you to realize that, you know, who's ever watching, and to realize that, like, the beauty of this life is that you're graciously humbled in a way that causes you to get outside of this selfish box if you choose to accept it. And it's a privilege, bro. You know, sister, brother, it's a privilege, because once you you know, you start, you can't stop. You see that there's always a different perspective, there's always a different want, there's always a different need, there's always a different desire. And if you live your life in a constant state of unappreciation, you're going to always regret. You're going to always regret the end result, no matter what. Nigga, I don't care if, neighbor, I don't care if you sit here and you accomplish tenfold of what people before you have accomplished. If you're always thinking about what's next, and you're never able to appreciate where you are, in the midst of working hard, in the midst of continuing, in the midst of growing and elevating. Of course, if that, you know, because the God you serve is a growing and elevating God. Or even if you don't serve Christ, the life you live is a growing and elevating life. You're growing. Time moves on. Things grow. Like, moments pass no matter what. So when those moments pass, how are you going to view the life that you live? Are you going to spend all your time focusing on where you're lacking at right now and what you could have done in the past to prevent that? Or are you going to fully appreciate your day and understand that you ain't going to hit 100% no matter what? You can see things through completion, but the human mind is always unsatisfied. So you can't 100% satisfy yourself. That can only come from God. Peace can only come from God. And God gives a sustaining peace that's going to hold you in whatever state that you're in. Because the states that you're in are not always going to be positive. And if you have enough gratitude, you'll realize that the states that you're in are not always going to be negative either. You feel what I'm saying? And it's all about just holding on to that sense of appreciation and awareness no matter what, and appreciating the God that's given it to you so that you can have peace. I can look back on all the things that I wish I could have done for 20, or I could be grateful that I lived those 20 years, you feel me? I'm here. It's so much I could have done better. Even yesterday, there's so much I could have done, but I'm here. By the grace of God, I got another chance to live my life fully and appreciate and think and be functional and be able-bodied. You know, a lot of people don't got that chance. And you probably ain't even, up into this video, you probably ain't even been hitting it on the mark. And I ain't finna tell you that this video finna, you know, make you start locking in or anything like that. You know, I hope you do. I really do. I for sure hope you do. But this video not for that. This video is for having appreciation of where you are, who you are, where you stand. If you stand to watch this video, you have something to be appreciative of. And for the real spill, because I can't appeal to everybody, this is about having appreciation for God. Because God has given you mercy and has given you life when you don't deserve it. I don't deserve it, you don't deserve it. It's we don't deserve nothing. So anything that we accomplish apart from death is a privilege, because we don't deserve anything but death. So anything outside of that, man, you can find something to be appreciative of. And you know, thank God that I'm 20. And thank God that I don't have to put my appreciation into specific goals that I thought I should hit. Because if I did everything that I thought I should be doing, I would be a mess right now. So who knows? Maybe the things that I didn't do weren't for me to do in those times. And maybe the God that I serve is keeping me through those things. And that I should be doing a lot more obedience and appreciation than unnecessary sacrificing and self-searching. Because the God that we serve already knows you fully. And all you can do is figure out the person of whom he's created, because we're his creation. That's just my 2 cents though. I'm blessed to be 20. I'm blessed to be talking to y'all. I love y'all.